I want to take a look at the leader of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, Hakeem Jeffries, responding to the news that we've gotten from the lawsuit against Fox News from Dominion and all of the private texts and communications between executives and Fox hosts revealing that they did not believe the very lies they were perpetuating on air about the 2020 election. They thought people like Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, who they were bringing on the air to lie about the election, to say that it was stolen, were bonkers, were nuts. And behind the scenes, they recognized that. Publicly, they kept perpetuating these lies. And so much more than just that was revealed through this lawsuit. You can go back and look at some clips I've done about that, some stories about that. But here's Hakeem Jeffries just very nicely explaining what Fox hosts should be doing in this situation, what those at Fox should do in response to this news.
You and Leader Schumer sent a letter to Fox News earlier today saying that you'd like to see the primetime host publicly recant the big lie. Were that not to happen, what are you planning to instruct your members in both chambers or ask them to do with regard to Fox News? Are you going to boycott? Is there going to be some sort of... What's your recourse if this doesn't happen?
Well, the letter speaks for itself, and it relates specifically to the issue of the big lie, which apparently was well understood at the highest levels of Fox News. And I think Leader Schumer and myself simply expressed the position that since everyone seems to clearly understand that Joe Biden won the 2020 presidential election, that Donald Trump perpetrated a big lie to the American people that has had dangerous consequences, including a rise in political violence and an insurrection as part of an effort to halt the peaceful transfer of power, that perhaps it's time for America to be able to move past that big lie, and an important step would be those who know it was a big lie to publicly repudiate it.
And if they don't?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
So he's calling on the Fox News primetime lineup to go out and explain that they knew and they know that these claims are bonkers. These claims are not accurate. They're lies. The election wasn't stolen. Obviously, they're not going to do this, but that would be the appropriate response when you get caught for just blatantly lying and knowing that all these people you were bringing on and all these stories you were telling your audience was just not true. But you did it because you knew it would help you keep the viewership that Fox News has. So what is really upsetting about observing these events is, even though this is a much more significant example of it, we've seen this cycle before, and it's such an aggravating cycle to watch. And what I mean by that is there, especially in this current media environment that we're in, is maybe not a strategy, maybe they're not thinking every moment this is how it's going to go, what they're going to do, but it ends up being a cycle where very dishonest media figures lie, benefit from those lies. Then it becomes very clear, either quite immediately or down the road, that they were indeed lying, and they move on to something else. And it becomes a different talking point. Whenever one talking point that's very dishonest kind of gets old, people stop buying it so much, or it's just so clear to the public that it's not accurate, they pick something else, they dishonestly frame that, and we start all over again. And there's just not accountability. How long, how many lies has Tucker Carlson told, and there's not accountability? And the reason is, where would the accountability really have to come from? Because it's not really going to be through a case like this, even though I hope Fox News loses with this defamation case. They would pay out the amount, the Fox host would continue forward. It could be from the company taking the hosts off the air, but that's not going to happen. It would have to be from the audience. And in more reasonable spaces, more reasonable media hosts, if they got caught for lying, so blatantly, likely they would no longer have people who trust them and their audience would go away. And that's the accountability. That's why there's an incentive in most media spaces, hopefully, to be honest, to attempt to tell the truth, but not with these echo chambers, and especially within the Fox News right-wing little world they have going. Because the audience, even if they hear this story, even if they believe that some of it is true, honestly won't leave Fox News if Fox News continues telling the lies that these individuals want to hear and everything's a hoax. All those stories, all the evidence that these hosts aren't being honest to me and are just telling me what I want to hear, I don't care. Because to do otherwise, to recognize maybe the truth is the truth and I shouldn't trust Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, would be to recognize so many things about their identity, who they are, is misaligned with the truth. And what I mean by that is if you become kind of a Trump cultist, if you become a hardcore Fox News, everything's a hoax that doesn't align with what I believe and everything is the deep state and all these different things, that becomes who you are. You are so much bought into MAGA, whatever it might be. And you see that. And when I talk to Trump supporters at rallies, it's a different level of identity association with political views than I see in other political spaces. And so if the audience of Fox News, of someone like Tucker Carlson, took the information out of this lawsuit and many other situations to understand Tucker Carlson to be dishonest, that would also mean that so much about who they are, who they've decided to wrap their, or how they've decided to wrap their identity around something is based on lies. And that is a painful process. I understand that that would be very hard to do, but that's what you have to do if you value the truth and you realize you've been lied to. And so the reason why, even if this Fox News Dominion case goes as bad as it could for Fox News, we'll still have Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Hannity, and a bunch of people like them who benefit from lies, who benefit from people wanting to hear things that are just not true, is because the audience of those individuals will still be present. The demand for those lies will still be present. And that is so horrifying and so sad for what it means about our country now and moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.